Hi, I'm Barbara Calvi, licensed marriage and family therapist, and I want to welcome you to the Couples Corner. So today is part 6 in my 7-part series on the most common communication myths that can damage and undermine your intimate relationship. Today is number 6. Having good communication skills means you're the one doing most of the talking. And it's actually, in some cases, the opposite that's true. And here's why. Have you ever been in a situation with your intimate partner where you're trying to get your point across? And maybe this is a point you've been trying to get across over and over and over the course of weeks, or over the course of months, or even years. And you're frustrated, they're not getting it, and so you say it one more time. And you say it one more time, and you say it one more time, and you keep saying it, and they tune out because they keep saying you're nagging them, and you say the same thing over and over. Or you find yourself saying it more and more loudly, because that will sure get their attention, and the point will land. Or maybe you're one of those people who finds yourself finding all kinds of different ways to say it because you figure if I just use the right language, if I just use the right phrasing, then they'll understand. And yet, after all those attempts, you may still walk away feeling disappointed, frustrated, angry, hurt. So have you ever heard the old saying, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason? It's because we should be listening twice as much as we speak. Now, that may not literally be true in every conversation, but there is a lot of truth and wisdom to this. When you're in that spiral or that cycle of repeating it over and over and over and getting the same result, I'm going to challenge you to stop and to approach this really differently. How deeply, how well have you listened to your partner in that situation and their responses? How curious have you been about what is really important to them? If you're not getting your point across, if they seem unable to take it in, be curious. Really try to listen deeply and ask the kinds of questions that will really help you understand what is their perspective. Now, you might think you already know their perspective. You've maybe heard it dozens or even hundreds of times. But that's why I'm suggesting listen deeply. Sometimes, we get in habits of just repeating ourselves over and over and over. And start to be really curious. Can you put your defensiveness and your frustration aside and be really curious and wonder, what are the questions that I can ask that would help me understand my partner's perspective more? Not the questions that I could ask that would kind of push my partner into agreeing with me, or that might kind of lead them down the path to show them how ridiculous their point of view is, but to really be curious and ask your partner, wait a minute, you're having a really hard time with this. What do you hear when I say this? What does it mean to you? What is the meaning you give it? What does this remind you of in your past? And really see if there's anything you can listen for that gives you a new understanding of their perspective, because that then gives you a new place to start from and explore. So join me next week for part 7, the last part of my series on the most common communication myths that can harm and undermine your relationship. And until next time, take good care. Bye-bye.